This is Between Lovers, the Heart and Soul Chronicles. I am T, your guide to a space for mythic truth, healing remembrance, and sacred conversations. Before we step into today's episode, I want to speak to you gently, plainly. If you've been feeling that ache, that quiet question, that low humming frustration about love, identity, partnership, or worth, you're not alone. We're living in a time where everything is loud, where everyone's performing, where the algorithm speaks louder than the soul. And yet, deep inside, you're craving something quieter, something real. People are rushing into titles: girlfriend, wife, husband, boyfriend, provider, alpha, feminine. But the truth is, most haven't taken the time to become a whole in the absence of a title. We chase partnership before we understand our own patterns. We crave love before we ever fully meet ourselves. We want to be chosen when we haven't even chosen ourselves. So today we pause. This episode is a return. Not just a return to love, but a return to the first love, the love of self, the love of soul, the love of source. I prepared something sacred for you, a three-part spoken word experience. Each piece is a thread, one for the women, one for the men, and one for both, based on societal norms that we all are familiar with. It's a remembrance of what's possible when we come back to ourselves first, so we can come together whole. This is not a performance. This is the truth that lands in the body. So give yourself permission to slow down, to pause, to receive. Let's begin. Part 1. To the women. You were born chosen. May I offer a small reflection, not as critique but as care, not from above you but from beside you, because I've been where you are, and I still remember what they tried to erase. It's not about what you're wearing, it never was. They'll say it is, but trends have always been the cloak to hide the truth beneath your skin. You are divine, even if no one ever told you. Even if they try to package your beauty as performance, your soul as product, your power as personality. You are more, and they know that. That's why every generation of girls gets a new kind of distraction, a carefully crafted confusion, a stylish detour away from wholeness. They don't want you to know that you were born chosen, that you don't have to perform to be picked, that you don't have to shrink to be safe, you don't have to wait to be worthy. They told you your value expired at 30, but that's a lie built on fear. The truth? Your power doesn't even begin to pour until almost 40. So stop living like your clock is running out. Your time is just beginning. They've always tried to divide us, girl versus girl, mother versus daughter, woman versus herself, all to breed chaos and confusion, to make you think you're in a competition when the real competition was with your own clarity. But this isn't just social, it's spiritual. There was a war on women. There is a war on women. And it's invisible until it's not. It shows up in comparison, in waiting, in silence, in shame. But when a woman knows herself, when she returns to her fullness, she is unstoppable. So be vigilant, not bitter. Be wise, but stay wild. And never forget you were born chosen. You were never meant to wait for your worth. You are it. Part 2. To the men. You were always more than survival. Can I talk to you for a minute? Not to lecture, not to judge, but to offer you the truth they never handed you. You were not born to survive. You were not made to be numb, hard, cold, or angry. That's not masculinity. That's a trauma response. They told you leadership was control, that tears were weakness, that stoicism was power, that dominance meant you were strong, but who are you when no one's watching? Who were you before the world told you to man up? You were born with sacred hands, not just to fight, but to build. Not just to conquer, but to create. Not just to hold a woman, but to hold truth. And brother, you've been distracted. Your gifts, your spiritual gifts, especially your intuition and discernment, have been sleeping. Because the world told you to stay focused on the physical. They never taught you what it means to feel and to be clear. This is a spiritual war, and they are terrified of a man who knows himself. Because a man who knows himself, who heals himself, who loves himself, can't be controlled, can't be bought, can't be weaponized. They taught you that you were a beast, that force was your only language. But you've never been an animal. You're not a machine. You're not just flesh in survival. You are a divine being, a sacred son, a soul. You feel it every time you betray yourself, you feel it. You feel it every time you settle into who you're not. So this is your reminder. You are more. You are worthy. You are needed. Not just to perform, but to be. Begin the work. Your wholeness is waiting. Part 3. To them both. The first love. Become before you belong. Before you become someone's love, someone's babe, someone's partner, before you call someone your man or your wife, before you pull up on the weight of forever while still limping from your past, ask yourself this. Have you loved yourself first? You can't pour truth from a broken mirror. You can't give partnership from performance. You can't ask for loyalty if you've never sat in the throne of your own soul. The world builds empires on your amnesia, trains you to forget yourself, taught you that abuse is love, that control is power, that fear is respect, and boys told their beast, the girls told their value ends at 30, lies, all of it. And the truth? The real power begins at 33, when the illusion cracks, when the soul starts whispering, when your trauma bond starts suffocating, when gender wars are old distractions. But there's something they fear more than chaos. They fear you both heal. A divine woman who knows herself. A discerning man who loves himself. Together, not to possess each other, but to walk in purpose. That's what they fear. Because true love isn't coddling. It's a sacred bond that sharpens you, expands you, and honors your evolution. It's not about comfort, but there is some comfort. But they're an asset to your life, a mirror that reflects your highest self and helps you rise into it. It's correction, it's clarity, it's accountability. It doesn't release you from your responsibility, it calls you in. So stop staying where your wounds are coddled because love awaits you. Intimacy, passion, and excitement in a healthy way awaits you. Stop giving your soul away for comfort and performance. You are not becoming divine, you are divine. And when love finds you, when you love yourself truly, deeply, honestly, you give God eyes to see through your presence. That's why you feel it. Right now, your spirit knows. Your time is now. You are divine, you are chosen, and you are ready. Let's breathe together. What did this stir in you? This isn't the kind of episode you just listen to and scroll past. This is a soul interruption. And if it touched something, let's take it deeper. Here are your reflection questions. You don't need to answer them all, but grab a journal and let's go through them. Let them echo in this quiet space if they must. But before that, let me tell you this. You're not just learning to love yourself. You're learning to love the child within you. The one who needed softness when only survival was taught. The one who needed safety but was handed silence. The one who felt the sting of being misunderstood in a world that praised toughness and called it love. And maybe the ones who raised you didn't have what you needed. Not because they didn't care, but because what they thought had value was rooted in fear, not love. In appearance, not wholeness. In control, not connection. You see, sometimes people pass down what they were told was valuable. Discipline, fear, perfection, survival. But none of that replaces love. And none of that teaches you how to love yourself. So this work you're doing, this remembering, this returning, this rebuilding, it's not small. It's sacred. You are the one. You're the first in line to say, this ends with me. Love begins with me. Reflection questions. 1. Have I truly met myself beyond titles, roles, and relationships? 2. What part of my inner child still needs to be held, heard, and seen? 3. What did my caregivers teach me was valuable? And is this still true for me today? 4. Have I been mistaking trauma bonds for true connection? 5. Do I know the difference between being comforted and being called higher? 6. What would it look like to mother, father, and re raise myself with love? If this episode moved you, even if you don't know what to do just yet, sit with it. Let it rise. Let it rest. Let it return when it's time. And when you're ready, walk deeper. Please subscribe and tell me your thoughts. Visit betweenlovers.com. Explore the Discovery book series. It's available on both Amazon and TikTok Shop. Join the e-school and sacred circles for real conversations, not performance. And follow Between Lovers on TikTok and Instagram at Between Lovers. This is Between Lovers, where love returns to its sacred place. And you're not waiting to be chosen. You are always the choice. Until next time, walk gently, walk boldly, walk soulfully. And if you're called, walk home to yourself. I am T. This is Between Lovers.